Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making the Goatherder's Pie from the Elder Scrolls Cookbook. The ingredients we're going to need are 2 cups of mixed vegetables, and I am opting to use a little over a cup of mushrooms, which are going to cook down to about a half of a cup. I have 1 cup of diced carrots, and I have a half of a cup of peas, and since fresh peas are not in season, I will be using frozen today. You're also going to need 2 cloves of minced garlic, 1 leek, thinly sliced, as well as 1.5 pounds of goat meat. If you're not able to get goat meat in your area or you don't like it, you can certainly substitute this with lamb or beef. You also need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, as well as 2 tablespoons of flour. You also need 1 tablespoon of olive oil, which I am not showing here, as well as a half of a cup of beef stock, or in my case, because my goat meat was on the bone, I went ahead and removed it and put it through a meat grinder. So I took the bones and made my own stock out of it. So I am using goat stock today. For our mashed potato topping, we are going to need 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 egg, a half of a cup of heavy cream, as well as 2 large russet potatoes that I've already gone ahead and peeled and diced, and just have them sitting here in some cold water to prevent them from turning brown. And we are also going to need some salt and pepper. And I believe that is all of our ingredients, so let me get you guys moved over to the stove and we'll get started cooking. Alright guys, and now that we are over at the stove, I've already got water boiling in the back, and I'm just going to simply dump in my carrots for right now to get those softened up. And I'm going to put my potatoes in this first one to get them started. And we also need, sorry about that, I did trying out a new tripod today, so bear with me until we figure out some good angles for it. I do want to salt the water. And let me give that a quick stir. Get the heat turned up on that so those will start boiling. Give my carrots a little stir, and I do want to add a little salt to them, just to add a little seasoning to them. Not very much though. We will be salting other parts of this meal. Let me grab my olive oil real quick and knock everything over. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil to my skillet and allow that to heat up. Alright, so let's go ahead and add in our leeks right now. And I'm just going to saute these until they start turning translucent and just slightly start to brown up a little bit. Don't want to take them too far. We're only cooking our carrots just until they start to soften, and then I'm going to remove them from the water and rinse them in cold water to stop the cooking. We don't want them to overcook. I'm also going to add in my garlic at this time. As well as just a little tiny bit of salt. Now that the carrots have been cooking for about 3 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add my mushrooms in so they can start to cook as well. And I'm just going to stir those around. And it looks like our leeks are just about done. They're already starting to wilt and slightly caramelize a little bit on the edges. So I am going to go ahead and take them out of the pan and add them straight into my casserole dish. Now that the leeks are done, I'm going to go ahead and add in my goat meat. And we're going to go ahead and fry this up, and I will add just a tiny bit of salt to that. Again, I don't want to add too much because I do have salt going on in other parts of the dish. And I'm actually going to go ahead and add in just a little bit of black pepper. Since our peas are pretty much already blanched and cooked, I'm just going to go ahead and add those straight into the casserole dish with the leeks. Let me get that back up. While I am cooking the meat, I would like to remind you of the Gamers and Geeks playlist that Death and I have going on in our channels. If you would like to be a part of that, it's really easy. All you have to do is go out and make a cooking video, post it to your channel, and then let either Japik or I know either in the comment section of our latest cooking videos, or if you're a part of our Discord servers, you can let us know over there as well. We have, oh wow, almost 160 videos on the playlist, and it would not have been possible without you, the community. You guys have really been outstanding in your support of the playlist, and you continue to add to it pretty much weekly, and it amazes me to see how much it's grown. You know, Japik and I had just this little tiny idea, didn't know if it would ever go anywhere, and it really has. You guys have really made it take off, and it's awesome to watch. So, you know, if you guys are a little bit, you know, I don't know, apprehensive about doing it, just go out there and try it. It is a lot of fun to do. At this point, our carrots are soft enough that they can go ahead and be turned off, and I'm going to get these rinsed in cold water and added to our casserole dish. Alright guys, now that our meat is browned up, I'm going to go ahead and add in my tomato paste. We want to get that stirred in and allow it to start cooking down. Now that our tomato paste is incorporated in, I'm just going to lightly sprinkle over my flour. Now I am using Wonder Flour just because I think it makes a smoother gravy, but if you don't use it, all-purpose flour works just as well. And now we're just going to mix this in and allow that to cook for a minute or so. Alright guys, that looks pretty good and has been going for about a minute now. So all I'm going to do is add in my half a cup of stock, and we'll stir this around, which is going to help form our gravy inside of our shepherd's pie. Well, goat herder's pie, but essentially it's a shepherd's pie. And that looks pretty good. I'm just going to simply turn off my heat and add this into my casserole dish, which I think I can put back there. See if we can get it added in without making a big mess. So all I'm going to do at this point is just spread the meat around so that it's evenly dispersed over top of our vegetables. Alrighty, all we're doing now is waiting on the potatoes to finish, and I will check those here in just a second. So it does look like our potatoes are done just in time. So let me go ahead and turn those off, and I will get those drained And we will move back over to my other counter to make the mashed potatoes. Alright guys, we are back over at my counter and I'm going to go ahead and start mashing the potatoes. Before I do, I'm going to go ahead and throw my butter straight in there, since it's a little bit frozen still, but it should mash down fine. And I'm just going to make these like I would normal mashed potatoes at this point. And you can make these as smooth or as lumpy as you like them. I do sort of prefer a lumpy mashed potato over a completely smooth one. It just, I don't know, it gives that rustic feel that I always associate with shepherd's pie. So that is actually what I'm going to go for today. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt, as well as my black pepper at this point. And I'm going to start adding in my heavy cream. And let's get the last of our cream in. Now these do look a little on the runnier side, but as they cool down they will stiffen up. Plus we're going to be adding egg into it, so that will help as well. Here we go. Let's go ahead and taste it for seasoning before we add in our egg. It definitely needs a lot more salt. And a little bit more black pepper. A lot better. I'm going to go ahead and add my egg in. I'm going to throw that in fairly quickly so it doesn't scramble on me. Make sure you get the egg well incorporated. And that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and spoon our potatoes over the top. And you can make this look as rustic or as fancy as you like. I'm going to kind of go more for that rustic look like I said before. Now that I have the potatoes on, I'm just going to kind of come in and gently create some little divots and peaks with our potatoes so they'll get nice and brown. And I think, alright guys, I think this is just about going to do it. It looks pretty good. It smells good already. I'm going to pop it over into a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes. And once I bring it out, I'll let it sit for about 10 minutes before we dig into it. Alright guys, our goat herder's pie is out of the oven. I did let it sit for about 10-15 minutes after it came out, just to allow everything to set up. So let's go ahead and get in here and serve us up a helping of it. It smells so good. I really can't wait to give this one a try. I've never had goat meat before, and I'm very curious as to the flavor of it. Alright guys, there we go. Let's get in here and give it a little nibble, see what we think about it. Make sure we get a little bit of everything on our fork. Wow, this one is really good. Not the way I normally make a shepherd's pie, but I would definitely recommend you guys give this one a try, especially with the goat meat. I am really enjoying it. I was expecting it to be a little bit gamey, but it's not at all. Doesn't quite taste like beef. Doesn't quite taste like lamb, but I am enjoying it. So yeah, guys, I would definitely recommend you try this one out with the goat meat, and if you don't like it that way, definitely switch it over to some lamb or beef, or even a mixture of all three. Remember to check out the Gamers and Geeks playlist, as well as my Elder Scrolls Cookbook playlist. I will leave links, as always, down in the description to them. But for now, thank you so very much for joining me today. I've been Vault Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.